Welcome everybody, my name is Andy Logan and welcome to my channel and welcome to a new series. It's been a long time since I've actually been producing YouTube content. It's been many years, but with Arena coming out, I decided that, you know what, I wanted to get some content out there for Arena, because the previous online client for Magic the Gathering, Moto, or Magic Online is the technical term, it was not great. It was not good for viewing experience. It's not easy to get into, but Arena is basically the complete opposite. And also another reason why I am wanting to actually get back is because I've got a race I'm going to do with my brother. He was so close to getting to Mythic right before the season ended. I think it was like one game went away, and missed out on Mythic, so he ended in Diamond 1. And which I've done the same thing. I was basically one win away, not this season but the previous season, and I was like, I bet you I can get there before you. And it was like, sure, we can race, why not? I was like, do we want to record this? So he's like, yeah, he wants to try to record it, maybe even stream it, but we're not going to do it together, sadly. We're going to do it separately. And another reason why I wanted to actually record this, because I want to actually try to get my games filmed to, one, try to get better and see where I'm messing up, see different lines maybe I could take in, and also two, to show how much Arena hates me. I've had this running joke with my friends talking about how bad Arena has been to me and showing the pictures of starting hands, and it's like, yeah, like they're just unplayable. But anyway, we're going to get to the deck that I'm going to be going for a little bit to begin with. Grixis Drakes is basically blue-red Drakes, but we are splashing black for cards like Thought Erasure to be able to help try to clear the way for Drakes, where there's counter magic, removal spells. Also getting a little bit better removal with Cast Down, and then I'm also trying Carnival Carnage. There was one list I seen was playing that card. I don't know how great it's going to be, but we're going to give it a shot. And we can actually cast the backside of Dispersal, being Dispersal a little more common with this build. So that's something I want to get into. There's the mana base. I'm also going to try to have the list in the description as well. And here is the sideboard. We also got a few more black cards with Moment of Craving, another Thought Erasure, and another reason why I want to try the Black Splash, Thief of Sanity. This against the control matchup, if you can clear the way with Thought Erasure plus Thief of Sanity, get a hit in, it's usually lights out. That's the reason I wanted the 4th copy of Thought Erasure in the board. And as far as like other matchups, we have also Negate for the control matchup, Moment of Craving for the aggressive decks, especially the white based decks that might be on Adante Vanguard still, because that card is annoying. Fiery Cannonade for those same decks. Also Murmuring Mystic, being a big body and then also producing bodies to maybe trade or at least give us time to get a big Drakes out and try to get them dead in a couple turns. Round Star of Extinction as well to kind of finish it up. But that's the list. I wanted to actually start when where I actually began was in Silver 3, but sadly my recording, I lost it. So about 2 hours in, So I lost 2 hours worth of recording, so we're gonna try to be mindful of the time. And I'm going to actually separate these by games. We're going to do best of 3. And I'm actually going to try to like do these little quests here along the way. That's the reason, that's a good reason why I wanted to do Grixis Drakes, because like casting the blue spells and black spells, because we got black in the deck, and then also being able to kill 25 creatures. Now, granted, going to traditional rank, it's been kind of up and down on like what you're going to see. So there may not be a ton of creatures, but maybe we can find some. But yeah, I'm going to actually split these games up by matches, and that way, if you, because trying to sit through, let's say, an hour long watching one video is not the easiest and most pleasant. People don't have the time, so I'm going to separate it by games, and hopefully we can get you some good content out there to enjoy. We're going to keep us hand, they mulligan to 6. We're on the draw. Hopefully we can find a few more blue sources, like another blue source for this Drake, and the abilities of char courses to find it, and then they're down to 5. Okay, 5 to the bottom. Mono blue. Mono blue. Okay, so we're just going to lead off on our Sulfur Falls. Pass. Honestly, don't know if I will coil this Stormhammer unless if they obsess it or not. Even if they chart a course. Okay, just another Stormhammer. Right now I'm not worried about the Stormhammers themselves. For those that I don't know what the card is, just what the card does. For those that are just now, we're gonna try to find lands, and we missed. So I really don't want to bend the Thought Erasure, but I feel like that's gonna be that's the worst card in our hand. But that just lets them know that we have a black splash, but they'll eventually find out. But yeah, and I know that a lot of my followers here's the session are from my old Call of Duty days, so there might be a couple from Magic, but this is what Curious Session does. As far as the game itself, kind of see step by step. We're going to just try to kill this thing. Basically, for those from the Call of Duty side, this is a card game that, like I said, I've grown up playing, loved playing, and this is the digital platform for it. Do I want to pay the 2 life? I guess it's yes, but am I really going to block that? I'll just pay the 2 life. Play this. But basically the goal of the game is to reduce their life total down to 0. Or if they're not able to draw a card from their deck / library, then they lose the game. Do I want to block? And if I could get a red source, I don't want to give him another card. But we have 3. We could probably eventually get there, so we'll just no blocks this time. Basically, the way the game works for the Call of Duty people, you have these cards in your hand with the symbols on the very top. There's instants, which you can play at any point in the game. Sorceries, which you can only play during your turn, during different phases, which you have first main phase, your second main phase. That's when you can play your sorceries and your creatures, unless they have flash. We drew our land. We're just gonna pay 2 life. Enigma Drake. You can only play one land a turn. Wizard Retorts. What I thought. Since I'm not going to block, I'm just going to attack. See, and each you have during these different phases, you have your first main phase where you play your spells. You have a combat phase where you get to attack with your creatures, as you see just then. Then you have end step and upkeep and draw step, which you could do stuff during those phases. The reason that they exist. Yeah, we drew another land. That helps us be able to cast this plus Spell Pierce. Which Spell Pierce means it counters target non-creature spell unless control phase 2. So they go for Wizard Retort. It is not a creature spell. So we're able to play the Spell Pierce to counter it, which means their card is going to go into the yard. But it looks like they have a Spell Pierce for my Spell Pierce. Okay. Which, whenever a spell is countered, it does not go into the field. The effects do not happen. It automatically goes into your graveyard. We're just going to attack. Because I'm not blocking. I mean, he is down like 3 cards. And we can... Which, in this matchup, cards in hand do matter a lot. Usually, the way Game of Magic plays out for the Call of Duty people is either you are worried about what's on the board, which right now I am, or you're worried about what the cards in hand are. And right now it is the prior. We're worried about the board. I need to try to summon the thread. Being at 6, I will definitely have to block. Draw a card. That's actually a good draw. Play a land. Still can't use his ability, which puts Adapt. You can see explained on the right hand side of the card along with flying. That's another good reason why I love Arena. Trickster. Okay, so basically he's going to tap this guy down. Okay. So, I'm going to discard this Strike Horse. We can attack or we're going to die. Because he has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which, you see the number on the left hand side is how much damage they can do. The number on the right hand side is how much damage they can take. I'm going to use my 1/1 to block this 5/4, which it doesn't have enough power to kill the 5/4. And it's going to take much more damage than the 1 toughness. I'm going to go down to 2, but hoping that I can get out of this, but it does not. I need to draw something really good. Is he going to adapt? 1, 2, 3, 4. Does he have a counterspell? So he has a counterspell, which sadly we are dead because even if we play our 2 guys, they're going to have a 2 power go through because this Pteramander is going to be a 5/5, which at depth you put 1/1 counters on it, which grows the creature, so it increases the power and toughness of the creature. So yeah, we are dead. So we're just going to concede this game, go to the next one. But basically, the way the game works, traditionally you play the best of 3. After you play the first game, you get to go to what you call your sideboard, which is what these cards up here are, and you get to change your deck with these cards. So, for example, I really don't want these Thought Erasures. Like, looking at their hand is nice, but I just want cards that kill things. I don't want this Negate, and I don't want this Spellpierce, even if they are, like, basically trying to counter everything. I want this Murmuring Mystic. I want the 2 Moment of Cravings. I want these Fiery Cannonades. Now, you could make a case for Rao, but we're not going to bring him in. Hit 5 mana against a deck that actively plays this card. Since this is not a creature, them using 1 mana to nullify our 5 mana spell is extremely terrible. But basically the way traditional works, after you get to play 3 games of Magic, potential 3 games, this is the best out of 3. Play 1 without the sideboard, then you play another one with the sideboard. And whoever loses game 1 will start to play game 2 or get to choose. And whoever wins the best of 3 wins the match. We're going to be on the play. We're going to basically try to kill everything inside, and hopefully a threat sticks. Hey, all these cards kill things. We don't have a threat, but hopefully we will draw one. So I am going to lead off with Steam Vent's tap. I don't want to try to pay the 2 life to against the deck that wants to be aggressive. Even though it doesn't do a lot of damage, it it doesn't deal damage in chunks, it just whittles you down. So we're going to shock this Pteramander. We're not even going to try to get fancy and maybe get a cure session with it. But yeah, at least we found a threat now. But as far as the turn fork, you have an untap, which everything on the board on your side untaps. You have an upkeep, which sometimes effects happen during that. Then you have a draw step where you draw a card per turn. We're actually going to cast a Drake. Them not having any pressure on board is fine. They might have a Merfolk Trickster, that's whatever. And if you have an Essence Capture, that's fine. Like them using Essence, yeah, see, like them using Essence Capture without a body on board is fine. They're missing land drops too? Oh, we're missing land drops. They can afford to miss a couple of land drops because a lot of their spells are pretty cheap. Sadly for us, we kind of need all the mana we can get because we want to try to cast multiple, like, 2 to 3 mana spells. Okay, Merfolk Trickster, the card I was telling you about. Tapping it down, he might play Cure Session on, get a hit in. Hope to draw. Hopefully he has, like, is he going to double? Okay, so if he has to have another land, he has to have a land for turn plus a dive down or spell pierce. Has to be dive down. This is very bad for him. I mean, we're gonna kill this now. Even though it's basically just a 1-for-1 because those 2 cards he got back whenever he hit us. So that's not completely terrible for him, but like losing 2 Cure Succession is pretty huge. Because that card, just being able to draw an extra card a turn is very good in this game. Plus a 1/1 flyer. Sadly, this card doesn't hit it because it hits non-pirates, and guess what? He's a pirate. A pirate? How do you be a pirate and a wizard? Like, how does that even relate? We're gonna get this on the board. Then we could basically blank all of their, because this deck plays a lot of 1/1 flyers and 1/1s in general. Now that we've gotten onto the board with these 2, basically every spell we cast. Okay, so he's gonna get a hit in. But every spell that we cast, or instant sorcery we cast, we get a 1/1 blue flying creature. Which if we cast 2 is going to basically keep him at bay. So I am going to attack with this. I want to leave this back, kind of check this, but also I wanted to attack because I want to activate the backside of this, be able to draw 2 extra cards. That's fine, because I do have like black spells I might want to cast too. See, now we'll have 2 flyers to be able to block this and make sure they don't draw any more extra cards. I was kind of hoping for a land, didn't get a land. We're going to pass the turn. He's not going to do anything. Also, casting more spells in here makes this guy bigger. So now he can't really attack in. He has to basically... Sure. You have a Degen. You can't protect it. And he has to attack or he's going to lose his Cure Session. Which he's passed to the end of combat, so that means that Cure Session will fall off. So at the beginning of your end step, you didn't attack with a creature, you have to sacrifice it. And at the end of the turn, we're going to cast an instant to kill this Degen. This is not a legendary creature. Get another bird. Yeah, we're just going to run with the game now. Because, see, now we could just cast this for the Carnival side. Move the blocker. Because, like, making them discard 2 cards when they have, like, 6 in hand is not the most exciting. We also get another birdie for casting that. Yeah, we're just going to attack all out. Attack for 8. And we're done. This Fiery Cannonade isn't good at this point, but like, I think it's just a good feel safe. Yeah. We're going to use our blue mana here. We're going to opt. Get a dude. We'll look at the top card. Sure, we'll keep that. Why not? And we're going to do it again, because we want a bunch of birdies. I actually don't want this Fiery Cannonade. And he's done playing! So, we won the second game, now we're going to go to our third game. Anything we want to change? You know what? A good question is if we want, so maybe we should have had Thought Erasure on the play. That way, if they do play a 1-drop, then we could look at their hand and try to get a feel of what's going on. But on the draw now, I think we do want these Cannonades. That way we could try to use them to catch back up. And then hopefully try to use Murmuring Mystic and our Drakes to shore up the late stage of the game. So that was probably a boarding error on my part. So we're going to keep it as is. Sure, like, we could try to put in Thought Erasure now, but if they go, let's say, the Flying Pirate into 2 open mana, then we basically are not guaranteed to resolve anything. And look, here we go. So, and I love the top up here explaining, do you want what a mulligan is? Basically, if you don't like your hand, you can mulligan and draw one less card. And then once you find a hand that you want to keep, then you can look at the top card of your deck, so if you want it or not. This one we can't keep because we can't cast any of our spells. Joys. Okay. Now, this hand will keep 2 lands, 2 piece removal, a win con. We'll keep the hand. Charter Course can help us get us out of this. And it actually could just help us draw into more land. Are you going to play a thing? Okay, that thing is going to die a horrible death now. I am sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, but we're going to pay 2 life. Now, you can't, maybe you're wondering, like, why, for the people that aren't used to Magic the Gathering, why this particular land is blue and this one is double. Well, this one can actually add either color mana. So you see I have red spells, blue spells. This can tap for either red or blue. An example here, this one can tap for black or blue. We're going to actually put this in the play tab, which is another part of this land. You can pay 2 life to come to play untap. So there's a real cost to playing these what we call shock lands, because it deals 2 damage to you, and guess what shock does? It deals 2 damage to something. We're going to pass the turn, not do anything. We're going to kind of wait on him. That's fine, he can opt. I was kind of waiting to see if he'd play Trickster, and if he was, I was going to shock it. But I'm not going to try to opt. I'm going to wait. Alright. He plays a Pteramander. Now, sadly, I am going to try to shock this. I don't expect this to resolve. Which, when I say resolve, I don't expect this to happen. But we need to try to keep guys off board as much as possible. So, he has to have basically, like, what we call protection, which hexproof, as you can see at the top there, player permanent with hexproof, can't be target spells or abilities the opponent controls. So now he has to have another one, or that Spell Pierce card that was played earlier, and he doesn't. Granted, I didn't want to use that, but man, he is just drawing all of them. Alright, so now we can't really afford to leave it up. We gotta start actually casting our draw spells. We get a land, we're going to take it. Now we're going to try to draw 2 cards. Try to draw in a couple more lands. Okay, so we drew. So we have 4 pitches, could be 5. I kind of want to, man, I kind of want to keep all these. So I definitely want to keep his Charter Course. I want to keep his Pteramander. Maybe it is a Charter Course, because like I don't know how good this thing's gonna get, but at least this can draw a card when it comes into play. This makes this bigger and also gets him one closer. So yeah, we'll get rid of Charter Course. Didn't want to get rid of it, but there's only 3 cards in this graveyard. He has 2 instant sorceries. Yeah, that's the reason why. Cure Obsession on his guy. So that means we kind of need to play. We need to play a threat out. I'm actually okay if they play the SS Capture on this, because that means this guy's only going to be at 3/3, and that's really good for us. He didn't. That's good for us. Drew more lands. Not great. He probably has a Trickster the way that went. He's drawn up. He's trying to find a way to get this Drake out of the way. It's basically 4 Tricksters. That he might have a card that returns my Drake to my hand, but that's probably like 2, maybe 3 copies at most. So he's at most drawn to 7, and he doesn't have it. Okay. I think we're going to start running away with this game now. We're going to cast this guy, see if he hits the field. He does, so we're going to cast this guy. Now I don't think he can win. Alright guys, I'm going to wait 1 turn. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even if he has a land next turn, he cannot put the 4/1/1 counters on this guy, so they won't trade next turn. And I have a removal spell for it, and especially if he taps down too low, because one of their main counter spells is it costs 3. Like their best counter spell costs 3 because he, yep, knows the game's over. Got there. Awesome. And that'll be it for that game.